Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of God, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. And we start by invoking blessings and sending salutations of peace upon our Prophet Muhammad. My name is Ubaydallah Evans, and on behalf of Sapelo Square, today I have the privilege of reflecting on the third juz, or third part, 30th of the Quran. This 30th of the Quran is one of my favorites. It is filled with the stories of previous communities, and I think that Muslims sometimes read these stories through a lens of either current events, which is understandable, or maybe even negative personal experience, which is also understandable. So sometimes Muslims read the stories, particularly the stories of the children of Israel, and they see in those stories an indictment of the children of Israel. What they should see is a warning. Even a community that is favored by God, even a community that is given prophetic guidance, even a community that is chosen and elevated, if it does not fulfill the sacred trust, can become a wayward community, can become a wicked community. Whenever a community feels that it is chosen, or even an individual feels that they are chosen, the question they must ask is, chosen for what? Are we chosen to live a self-serving, other-obliterating communal existence, or chosen for something more inclusive, chosen for something that benefits everyone? In not this juz, but in a different juz, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر وتؤمنون بالله. You are the best community, referring to the Muslim community, drawn out from the people for the benefit of the people. You enjoin what is right, you forbid what is wrong, and you believe in God. That is the only basis that a community can claim that it has any preferential, that it has any status with God, that they enjoin what is right, that they stand for justice, that they forbid what is wrong, that they prevent harm from coming to the vulnerable, and that they enjoin faith in God. You have so many stories in this juz of the Quran of communities that were preferred, communities that had been selected, communities that enjoyed great favor, but they abused the privilege and the favor that they had been given, and this of course led to them being punished by God. So if there was a theme for this juz, I would probably say this would be its most salient theme. But in addition to that, this juz contains one of the most oft recited famous verses of the Quran, Ayatul Kursi. It's right there, ayah 255, first page of the juz, maybe fourth ayah, third or fourth ayah of the juz. And this verse is powerful because when it comes to worshiping God, human communities have wanted two things in particular from their worship of God. One is to affirm God's transcendence, that God is above, that God is beyond, that God is more than us. God is above us, this tanazzuh, this aboveness, right? This transcendence. And the other thing that communities have wanted to affirm is God's immanence, that God is present. And often these two attributes, these two qualities, sometimes they almost appear to compete with each other. Communities that really affirm God's immanence, God's presence, can fall into idolatry or paganism, right? That God becomes indistinguishable from creation. And communities that affirm God's transcendence can fall into deism, that God becomes a creator God, a God of the philosophers, but a God that has nothing to do with creation. Ayatul Kursi has this beautiful, I've never seen anything like it in any other scripture, way of establishing the transcendence of God and establishing the immanence of God, that God is above, God is more, God is greater than, but God is close, God is near, God does help, God does assist, God does aid, God does listen, God does provide relief, God does protect, And this ayah, this verse, should be a part of our daily litanies. Some people recite it after every prayer. Some people recite it before bed. Some people recite it when they feel a need for protection. All of these are good uses of Ayatul Kursi, because Ayatul Kursi contains within it that balanced Islamic approach to acknowledging divinity. So I pray that this Ramadan brings blessings and a very impassioned and enriching reading of the Quran for all of Sapelo Square's viewership and readership. And I just want to commend them, and I just want to encourage them to keep going. Assalamu alaikum.